Hey guys, Dr. Shook here. It's another sauna session. When I get a chance, I get in here, and this gives me a time to kind of be away from everything and have a little bit of time for my thoughts. And sometimes that's good that I do that without doing a video, so I can think about, clear my head, and get some perspective and focus on things that I need to do. But it also gives me a chance to talk to you guys and help give you some valuable information to help you, take your health back. So today I want to talk about a lot of people, the first thing, like right now, the trends in, functional medicine and alternative healthcare for a lot of autoimmune conditions and digestive problems and you name it, right? You name it, any of these, any chronic condition, especially autoimmunity. The trend is to change your diet, go on a whole food diet. Don't eat processed foods. And you know what? I agree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. But let me share like one ingredient, for example, that we find very commonly causes problems for people. So have you guys ever, so a lot of times people say, well, I'm going to go dairy free, right? So they go dairy free, and when they go dairy free, they change to rice milk, soy milk, they go to coconut milk, something like that, right? And then, so have you ever looked at the ingredients on those boxes? You ever wonder how coconut water, which is like thin, how they can make coconut milk that's thick, that kind of pours and has more of like a dairy, like a cow milk consistency? You ever wondered how they do that? We got to look at the other ingredients. When you're reading labels, you got to look at these other ingredients. And really, in these other ingredients, what you're going to find is there's stuff like guar, Guar, guar gum, or xanthan gum. All these different gums. There's other gums. The gums are used as thickeners, okay? Because if you take these gums and they're in a powder form and you mix just a little bit of water, they become real sticky, okay? So they're a thickener. They're commonly used as a thickener. And these gums can be problematic for a lot of people, okay? So for one thing, we know that the gums can cause an immunological response. So, for example, one of the tests that I'll commonly get is Cyrex Labs Array 10. It's a 180 to around 180 to 200 food panel. And one of the things that they check for are these categories of these gums, because they are large molecules that your immune system can react to. So, though you think you're doing yourself a favor and you're going on you're using like coconut milk, right? Maybe you're reacting to the gum that thickens and that makes it that more milk-like consistency. So one of the things that you'll see is that people will just feel bad when they drink it, like it can perpetuate their autoimmunity, and that's, the symptoms are different for everyone. And the other thing is, though, is really an interesting one. So maybe you've heard of small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, or SIBO, SIBO. It's an acronym for small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. It's where you have a translocation, which means translocate just means this. It moves from one area to another, right? So you have bacteria in your large intestine that moves into the small intestine. When it's in the small intestine, the bacteria starts to overgrow. And the bacteria tends to ferment and feed off of certain types of gums, fibers, and sugars. And it can cause bloating immediately after you eat, or really soon after you eat. Now you got to look at stuff like the gallbladder and other intestinal issues with this, but something we see real commonly, especially in our autoimmune and hypothyroid crowd where gut motility is a problem, what you'll see is they'll consume these gums and then they bloat, or they do not feel well. And that's because they're actually feeding, those gums will feed the SIBO, the small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. So what I want to share with you guys is that you got to listen to your body. Everyone's different. Dietary changes are always going to be important and always going to be foundational. Sometimes supplementation is going to be helpful, but you shouldn't have to rely on a supplement or a vitamin your entire life. I mean, I do take multivitamins. I do take vitamin D. I do use fish oils or different types of essential fatty acids. I use digestive enzymes, but I don't use them all the time. And I don't recommend that anyone do it as a long-term way to improve their health. I think if you have to keep taking something forever, that you haven't addressed the mechanisms and the causes of your problem well enough. Now, once our body becomes run down to a certain degree, it may be damaged to a point that you have to keep taking something forever, okay? And that's okay. But I think you need to understand why and what's breaking down before you make that determination. Okay. So anyway, Dr. Shook here. I hope this has been helpful on me just trying to explain some of these things like fillers in foods and things that can cause immunological responses, things that you may not be aware of, to just try to help you make better decisions and better understand what's going on with your health. Okay, Dr. Shook, I appreciate you guys coming here to learn more about your health. If you need anything, let us know. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to try and respond. We've got so many people that ask us questions on a daily basis. We just can't get back to you all. So I really apologize for that, but I appreciate you coming here to learn more about your health, and I'll do everything I can to help give you information to really help you change your life in a positive way. Thanks.